Hello and welcome. I can't fucking sleep, so I'm a stream and escaping reality. Oh, hey cat. Back to reality. Are you on the bed? A moon brings light to the blackest night, so you have come. Netherling, your people are in danger. Gundu came unseen like summer rain to steal 3 Netherlings. They are trapped hanging in cages like ripe fruit. You must seek them out and warn your people. Zundu cannot show hand against Fundu, but we will guide you like gentle breeze pressing on Netherling's back. Go quickly to Oak Fundu and find other Netherlings. Okay. An adventurer. This is the last place I wanted to be found, but I suppose there's no sense in worrying about honor now, is there? Please, you must inform Lady Lynette. We've not been hurt, and they've shown no intention of harming us just yet. Tell her not to be rash in coming to our aid. There we go. Leave me be for now. This situation calls not for a single woman's bravado, but patience. My life is in no immediate danger, so there is still time. It pains me that I cannot tell her myself, but you must find Lady Lynette. Tell her that we've been taken prisoner, that we are yet unharmed. You've come to help, but it's not safe. They could be watching us even now. I can stand to wait. Can't I can stand to wait until a more opportune time presents itself. Lady Lynette will surely know what to do. You must return to the Rosen house and tell her what's become of us. Gods be good, captured by the Vundu. They've grown bold to reach so far into Zundu territory. I will deploy my men at once and see to their rescue. This is where they place men they deem not fit for the war with dragons. But I'm starting to think we've merely been tossed from one war to another. To our benefit, we have an ally in the Zundu. I will have to find a way to thank them properly. You too have my deepest thanks, Yo. We'd have lost a great many men by now if not for your help. And that's it for here. The Sea of Clouds. Don't pay attention to that. That's an extreme I need to do. Alright. To think that the chief actually cared so much about the forest. I've been such a fool. God damn it, Herbox, you can't even do your own work. What am I gonna do with... what's that? Sounded like a scream. It came from the northeast. It better not be the bloody outlaws again. Chief, adventurer, we have to follow him with me. Oh, it's right there. It's just a flesh wound. Hude, what the hell's happened? That's Hude. Yo, it's you. Hude's hurt. Please help him. I'll be fine, Quintana. Quinta. It's nothing. That bastard Buricon loosed an arrow at Quintana. A heartbeat later and she would have, Hode, I'll help you get back to Tailfeather. That wound needs looking at. Looks like there might be some trouble ahead. Adventurer, come on, let's meet with the others at Tailfeather. I thought we'd seen the last of Burricon. I've heard all about the mess. Hude seems resting at the moment, and he should recover before long, but it looks like we've got another problem on our hands. Is Quintana here? I need her help. I've heard about Burricon's misdeeds. Why would he dare show his face near Tailfeather again? Lupard and Quintana have been telling me about this Burricon. So he's the bastard what got exiled from Tailfeather a while back. God knows why he's come back now. I knew just letting him walk away was a bad decision. The blame is mine. Quinana? Quinyata? Oh, is that Gasol? How the stable's been treating? What's wrong? You look like a Bandersnatch who just ate your hatchling. Well, that's not too far from the truth. I came to Tailfeather to show you how much my chocobo had grown. But not far from here, a man in all black accosted me. He took my chocobo and he said he'd roast it whole. Before he left, he said he had a message for you, Quintana and Lupert. He said he'd be waiting at the northwest camp and he'd get his revenge. Bjorkon, it's him. I'll string him up myself. Gisel, we'll get your chocobo back. Wait, you're just walking into this trap. Curses, we have to help her. Bleeding idiots. They've got heart, but it's like to get them killed. Lupert, stay with Grisel. I ain't letting no greenhorns die on my watch. My chocobos. Bloody hells, looks like I got no choice but to leave this to Obentia. Just the three of them though. Yo, they're gonna need your help. Go after them and make sure they don't come to harm. Catch up with them before they fall into Barakon's trap. Bjorkon, what the hell's... Where the hells are you? Chief, can you move? We walked right into the bastard's trap. He was waiting for us and his arrow got me right in the... God damn it, they're still here. Herbox, Quintana, leave here. Yo, protect Obentia. We're going after Berber Cohen. Those two are too green to be dealing with the likes of Barracon. They should have gone back to Tailfeather. Follow them and make sure they don't get themselves killed. Seeing as we ain't murderers, I say we hear what he has to say for himself. We did it, yo. We got the bastard. Cut these goddamn ropes. I won't be bested by a couple of meddling kids. Where's Gasol's chocobo? Ah, you mean that plump, meaty hatchling? I'm as good as my word. I roasted it up with the side of potatoes. You disapprove, do you? Well, you have no right. In case you've forgotten, you're chocobo hunters like me. You prey on the dumb birds. To us, chocobos are nothing but a means to survive. Don't even think to deny it. Admit it, you didn't drive me out of Tailfeather because you cared about the birds. You just couldn't bear the thought of a hunter making more coin than you. Guess all, your hatchling won't have died in vain. What in the hells are you? I was right, you're no better than me. That's where you're wrong, Burricon. To you, this chocobo is nothing but prey to be consumed, but hunters must be thankful towards their quarry. For it is only by their sacrifices that we are able to live. Each and every one of these sacrifices demands respect. We hunt not for sport, much less to inflict pain on others. That's what separates us from the likes of you. You kill without scruple, without respect, and without conscience. You're nothing but a blight on this delicate landscape, and threaten to destroy its balance. The chief says to always respect the animals we hunt, because they provide us our livelihood. Do you not see this? Gasol, he needs to know what happened to his pet. I'll go and tell him. And I'll take the scum back to camp. And that leaves one last thing. Yo, go tell Luke Bird what happened here while we finish with our duties. Herbert's got more pluck than I gave him credit for. Thank you for helping Quintana. Well, it looks like this sordid episode's behind us thanks to the three of you. What's gonna happen to Barricon, you ask? Let's just say he probably won't be able to bend a bow no more. Not that that's gonna bring Gasol's hatchling back. Why, I ain't never seen a man wither so fast as when he heard the news. But eventually he pulled himself together and returned home, more determined than ever to take care of his other birds. Good intent don't keep a man fed. Us hunters know this better than most. Aye, it's a truth best learnt sooner than later. So long as the two young'uns keep what happens today close in their hearts, they'll go on to make fine hunters. Well, it's about time we set off into the forest once more. Adventurer, ye have my thanks for looking after my full partner. Let's hope he remembers everything he learned while he was with ye. I've spent enough time nursing my wounds. The hunt awaits me, and Quintana can't keep my eyes off her for too long. Who knows what she'll get up to. Well, yo, Looks like those two hunting duos got bright futures ahead of them. Thanks for your help. You'll always be welcome at this camp. Ude's right. It ain't the pretty things that keep us fed. It takes most hunters a good long while to get cozy with that fact. Okay, and that's it for this place, the Dravanian Forelands. Ignore that, that's the other extreme I need to do. There's only two extremes that have story attached to them still. To think the legends are actually true. Our ancestors did indeed come down from the skies, Kupo. I'm sure Moogle and the others will get along famously. But don't you think the Moogles here have such strange names? There are so many Moogles with names like Margaret and Mogmug, but no one is named Kupo, Lo, Kop, or Kupta Kupta. I wonder why. Chieftain Moglen seems to know much about Moogle history. Maybe he can shed some light on this mystery. But I'm so nervous around chieftains, Kupo. But you, adventurer, you've rubbed shoulders with all kinds of great characters, and Chieftain Moglen respects you. I'm sure he'll readily tell you all about Mogholm names, and then you can tell me. I can't wait to learn about their names, Kupo. Oh, yo, so you finally come to your senses and acknowledge the heavenly ring of Mogholm's names, Kupo? That pleases me greatly, but I must ask you to wait. It seems Moglu has an urgent entreaty. Yes, Chieftain Moglen. The Palm Guard is fighting a desperate battle against a gang of monsters swarming our precious Kupo nut orchard. We have beaten them back for now, but I fear we are outmatched, Kupo. Luckily we have just the one to help. Yo, lend the Palmer Guard your strength, and mayhaps I will speak more with you about our Moogle names, Kupo. The defenses of our Kupo trees is of the utmost importance. Speak with Moglo of the Palm Guard to learn where he needs you. Once these monsters have been dealt with, ask me again about the knowledge you seek, Kupo. Oh, adventurer, it's good to see you again. Palm Guard business has me terribly busy these days, Kupo. Speaking of which, where did those monsters go? Oh, you'll help us rid the area of those dreadful things. Thanks heavens, this sword was getting so heavy. We're fighting violently to drive off the invaders. There are two of them, so our paws are full, Kupo. The Palm Guard have their paws tied with one, while Moogle and the Twellswood Moogles are trying their hardest to track down the other. The Moogles from the service have more courage than I thought, Kupo. I'll go help the other members of the Palms Guard adventure. Hurry and make sure Moogle and the others are safe. Oh wow. I saw it fly over here. We'll find it soon, Kupo. Yo, you better be the only Moogle here, man. I don't want to have to come back. I feel like I'm gonna have to come back, though. I had it in my sights, but it flew away, Kupo. Where could it be? Yeah, it's just these two areas. Do I just go back and forth? Is that the secret to this little thing that's going on here? No, it isn't. That means I missed one. Fuck, right. Oh, you're here to help. Well, we drove that monster over to the southeast. I don't think it's managed to steal any Koopa nuts. Where are you? There you are. The monster was just around here. It can't be far. We have it cornered, Kupo. I can't believe a monster followed us that far, Kupo. I'm quite tuckered out from chasing that monster around, Kupo. Maybe Chieftain Moglin will finally tell us about the Moglin names. We did it, Kupo. That beast was no match for the likes of the Palm Guard, Kupo. With the threat to our precious Koopa nuts gone, the orchard is safe. Those monsters were so strange, odd-looking wings, curious pointed ears. I wonder where they could have come from, Koopo. Oh no, they might have followed us here, Koopo. We're sorry, we didn't mean to bring such rude guests with us. Well, as long as the Koopa trees are safe, then there's nothing to worry about. Thanks to our new friends from the 12 woods, not one nut was disturbed, Koopo. Let's report our success to Chieftain Moglin. I want to thank everyone who helped protect our prized trees. Ah, you've returned at last. Are the Koopa nuts safe from harm? These malicious monsters won't be laying their paws on our nuts anymore, Koopo. Thanks to the help of the 12 Sword Moogles. Ah, it's so nice to see you working together to defend our home, Koopo. Well, now that the storm has been weathered, I believe you wanted to know all about Moogle names. Hopefully it will serve as an inspiration to her. Actually, Chief Lumogan, I was the one who asked the adventurer to ask you. I was thinking, isn't it curious that our names sound so different from yours, Koopo? In the 12's word, we usually start our names with Ku or Poo. They say it's because it makes the name sound like a Koopo nut. Maybe when the Moogles came down from the sky, the Koopo nuts were their most prized possession, Koopo. But the Mogho Moogles love Koopo nuts too, so I've wondered why their names are so different. You're quite perceptive, Kooky. Truth be told, I've never thought about the reason myself. Would it not make sense for Moogles to start their name with Mog? It's been that way for as long as anyone can remember, Koopo. My ancestor, who was Mogholm's first chieftain, was named Moggle, and in fact, it was he who decided which brave Moogles would travel down to the surface after fire rained from the skies. Moggle, that name seems so familiar. Koopo, Mog? Could Chieftain Moggle have in fact been Moggle Mog? If so, Chieftain Moglin, you would be a descendant of good King Moggle Mog the 12th. May all his lineage bask in greatness. Indeed, those two names are quite similar, Koopo. Moogle Mog, I remember. This was the name of the king from your legend. It all makes sense, Koopo. The legend is so ancient, it's no wonder the name changed ever so slightly. That means I'm presenting myself before the descendant of the last king of Moogle kind. The legends tell more than just the king, Koopo. The valiant household of guard of good King Moogle Mog the 12th may his legend live on forevermore is also detailed at some length. Does that mean that the Palm Guard is also? The history of Palm Guard is long and illustrious, dating back to the chieftain Moogle humble beginnings, Koopo. Koopo. That means his household guard was actually the Palm Guard. I'm among some of the most historic Moogles of all time. I never knew we were so important. How embarrassing. Oh, I almost forgot. We never thanked you for helping us take down those dreadful monsters, Koopa. for all your brave service in defense of our lovely orchard and in celebration of our newfound friendship. We shall bequeath upon you one kupo nut each. Kupoko, I could think of no better reward myself. Our stomachs will be full tonight. Yeah. I think your unique name is beginning to grow on me, Kupo. If we happen to do okay, we should just paint. Okay, I've read that before. Alright, that's it for this place. Cool. I sort of saved the last quest for each place. That's actually kind of funny. Alright. What's next? I guess idle shower, or I believe there was something in the foundation. "'Twas bitterly cold when you first came to our city, when I stood waiting for you before the Ark of the Worthy. To think that that was where it all began. How much has changed since that day. Forgive me, of late I have been studying the works of Belladian poet king, who wrote, 'To ye who ask things to come, give thought to what is past and gone.' So rarely have we the luxury to reflect on the choices we have made, on how they have shaped our lives and the lives of others. Even I, a mere steward, whose deeds would not merit a footnote in the annals of history, can see the value in this. I say this to you, Mr. Sun, because as you move, so too does the world. Pray spare a moment to contemplate your journey while you can." The road stretched on, obscured by an endless veil of snow. Somewhere in the white beyond stood the great iron gates, and on the other side a humble manservant who awaited the coming of the three travelers. I do not regret my choices, nor do I think you should yours. Nevertheless, one cannot help but look back on occasion and wonder. That's that. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Sun. To what do I owe the pleasure? Were you tracing your steps from those first days in Ishgard? I see. Well, no one could begrudge you for indulging in a little nostalgia. I'm reminded how much I owe to you and yours. Lest you forget, foreign merchants were subject to a frankly unreasonable level of scrutiny until relatively recently. Not so now, however. Now, goods from every corner of Eorzea flow into our markets, and that, my friend, is change we can all appreciate. Merchants of all nations speak a common tongue, and its words are coined. Needless to say, there is little profit to be had in prejudice, especially against those who have received the patronage of account. Thus, when the wards of House Fortemps arrived, she was glad to make their acquaintance. As one might expect, all this political upheaval had a significant impact on the markets, but there's no profit to be had if one can navigate the chaos. There is profit to be had if one. What it'll be then? Ale? World wine? No, don't tell me. Tea. Oh, so it's to be memories then, is it? Now there's a bitter draught that'll leave you wanting. Assuming you can remember your own name, that is. Take your friend Tataru. One moment she's just another girl waiting on customers, clearing tables, and so forth, and the next she's got dozen admirers asking for her every bloody night. And I'll be damned if I can remember how it happened. Singing those stupid songs, dancing those daft dances. Though, to be honest, I think it was her stories that really won him over. Stories of a certain hero's grand adventures across Eorzea, told with a flair that put a minstrel's to shame. Who doesn't love a good hero's tale? Am I right? Hells, we've even got one about the man who's built his tavern. Was one of the founding fathers of Ishgard, or so it goes. Now, as the Enchiridion told it, besides Haldreth, the only knights who survived the battle with Didlok were the founders of the high houses. Of course, these days we all know better than to put too much stock in the words of the church, eh? But there's more to our tale than just words. There's a sword, too. One which has been passed down from proprietor to proprietor since before anyone can remember. She's a rusty old bugger, but if you look closely at her handle, you can just about make out an inscription. Brothers brave and true, live well, forgotten and content. A man who forsook wealth and fame and chose the life of a humble tavern keeper. It's just a tale, of course, albeit a good one. As for the truth, who can say? Friend, who can say? He knew everyone's story, though he would never share his own. An optimist, he wanted to believe the best in people. Sometimes that faith would be rewarded, other times betrayed. But he would listen regardless, and he would hope. Mr. San, I was but this moment thinking of you. I had hoped to speak with you at Sir Emeric's investure, but circumstances conspired to prevent me from attending. Mayhap you will allow me to say now what I could not say then. On behalf of House Helionaire and all of Ishgard, I offer unto you my deepest and most humble thanks. You risked your life to stand against our sworn enemy, and freed us from a millennium of torment. Though we can never hope to repay you, we will ever remember your deeds, that our children and their children's children might know the woman to whom they owe their lives. I can see that the grand investure would have been a more fitting occasion for such words, but I could not risk them being left unspoken. What brings you this way? As you can see, Camp Cloudtop remains much the same as it did during the war, though we need no longer watch the skies for Dravanian outflyers. The Vanaranu have proven themselves similarly worthy of our attention. I say, old girl, you have the most uncanny ability to appear whenever I least expect you. But enough about that. Honor it? Ah yes, my lord. Lady Lynette, I am pleased to report that we succeeded in infiltrating Voodoo territory, and there observed the beastmen harvesting crystals at several different sites. Based on the volume of crystals acquired during our period of surveillance, I have prepared an estimate of how much time I believe it will take the Voodoo to gather sufficient crystals for another summoning. I have also taken the liberty of drafting several proposals outlining how the Rose Knights might prevent such an eventuality, such as raiding these sites and securing their stores, as well as a detailed assessment of the risks involved should you choose to proceed. By the Fury, I gathered you were clever, but I was not aware that you were capable of this. With respect, you are wasted on your master, and working for full of potential. I think there is a place for you here with the Rose Knights if you would have it. That you would even consider taking me into your service is a tremendous honor, my lady, and were I free to do so, I should gladly accept, but I am pledged to another, as you well know. Regrettable, but understandable. I take comfort in the fact that a youth of your talent and character will never want for opportunities. Pledged to another, you rascal. I thought I saw you whispering to young Silhouette's ear the other day. You certainly wasted no time wooing our newest maid. There'll be no secrets between us. You must tell me everything. Where you've been sneaking off to together, what adventures you've been having, every little detail. And don't you dare leave anything out. I am sure he will not. In any event, you have jointly exceeded my expectations. I grant you leave to return to the city. Should the need arise, I shall call upon you once again. Thank you, my lady. I believe we shall do as you suggest. Until we meet again, Mistress Sun. Not so fast. The next airship isn't due for another hour, and we have so much to talk about. Honor it. Honor it. For all the lady's disdain, it was an old familiar dance. To her, Lord Emilian would always be the boy fumbling for a compliment, And perhaps there was comfort in that, a memory of home on the bleak frontier. I'm going through all the places. Or just like Ishgard places. Ishgardian soldiers, I should say. Ishgardians. 8,000 pardons, Mistress San. Had I known you were planning to pay us a visit, I would have seen that you received a proper reception, a feast perhaps, or at least a formal welcome with the men in full dress. You have more than earned it. One need only look to the pilgrims who come in their droves to pray before their relief to see the truth of that. Some abide in silence while others shed tears. Not for sorrow, you understand, but for joy. Joy at being released from Nidhogg's torment. Sir Redwald, the shipment has been unloaded, and the quartermaster confirms that all supplies are accounted for. Mr. San, are you here on official business? A journey to remember and reflect. Aye, much has changed since first we came here together, since I abandoned you to follow the heretic's trail alone. Come, my lord, mayhap you recall the survivor whom carried back to Falcon's Nest that day. Well, his wife but recently gave birth to their first child. Is that so? Well, well, mayhap I should pay him a visit. Though he would doubtless be honored, my lord, you need not put yourself to such trouble. Your responsibilities as Count surely leave little enough time as it is. Think not on that. I am still me, and you are still you. Whatever our respective titles, I would speak to you as a friend. The preoccupation with position and power has sown no end of discord between our two houses, to the great detriment of our nation. 'Tis especially galling when one considers that much of what we have achieved was by virtue of our blood and not our character. So call me Count if you must, but know that I take no pride in it. Mayhap one day, when I have earned it, I will, but not today. Still himself, is he? An honorable man, mindful of tradition, he was loath to accept the assistance of a foreign in exile, but when forced to confront bitter truths, he looked within and found himself wanting. Pride be damned, then, if it lead one astray. He would set his prejudices and join hands with his gifted outcasts for the greater good of Ishgard. Humility and nobility are regrettably all too often at odds. He shall make a fine count. 2 foreign heretics against 2 knights of heavensward. Under the watchful gaze of the Fury, they would fight, and the winner's claims would be proven true. It was the opening gambit of a greater game whose stakes would remain unknown for some time. You are Mr. Sun, if I'm not mistaken. We have met, though I am sure you do not remember. 'Twas a seeming lifetime ago when you answered the Archbishop's summons. I often come here to reflect upon all that has come to pass, and when I saw you gazing at the holy vault, I thought perhaps that you had too. You turned our world upside down. Everything we held dear for a change for the truth. They say it had to be done, that His grace sought godhood. If so, then perhaps it was the Fury's will that you prevail. But to say it, to believe it, I know that no man is without sin, but he was pious and humble, wholly devoted to the church and to his people. I knew him, miss, and he was a good man. Whatever else he may have been, I'll remember him as a good man. To walk the righteous path, to live for the sake of others, to rise to the highest station, yet remain powerless to bring an end to your people's suffering. What price salvation, then? What sacrifice beyond treason? For uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. Unzo. Oh, that's right. I had to come back here. So. Oh. Right. Oh, to the right. Oh. Lieutenant Sun, this is most unexpected. Do you have business with the Admiral? A journey of remembrance, you say? Well, far be it from me to deny you. Unannounced or not, I suspect the Admiral would be most displeased if she heard that I had turned you away. Thank the navigator. I had reassigned myself to another day spent listening to my advisors prattle on about the beastman's latest movements. Come, Lieutenant, tell me of your adventures. The Ishgardians sail in uncharted waters, though I hope these new reforms of theirs meet with no resistance would not be the first grand voyage to run afoul of reefs ere it properly began. But with Sir Emmerich at the helm, they may yet chart a course for generations to follow. Which is not to say our own doesn't need correcting. The Alliance has grown complacent. The bloody nose you gave us at the melee showed me that. Nor have I forgotten the lessons of the banquet. Rest assured, we will root out any further turncoats before the dagger is at our back. You have my word on that, and Lady agrees besides. She had never been one to retreat, much less in the face of transparent theatrics, but this had been no ordinary battlefield. Its rules of engagement anything but clear. So she would watch, and she would learn, and in time she would act. True. Never again, Lieutenant. Never again. This really is taking me all over the place. Oh, it's the end of it though. Which one are you? Not this one. Aha. Lower tables would have been nice. Okay. Mr. Zio, is aught amiss? I am both flattered and surprised that you should remember my small role in this tale, given the grandeur of your subsequent endeavors. Though I must confess to having derived some selfish pleasure from donning the garments of shinobi once more, I am honored to have been able to assist in fleeing General Ruban from his captivity, and I believe I speak for all my countrymen when I say that we are most grateful to have been granted the opportunity to contribute to the restoration of the Scions. Much has changed, it is true, and much may never be as it once was, but in watching you and yours rise from the ashes and rebuild, I am reminded that we must never give in to despair, for there is always something which may yet be saved. Nice. Oh, it's a quest chain. Okay. Well. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm actually gonna call the stream here, but thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.